We're here today at Jianing Heater Company. We have a customer in the UK and they've ordered 3 different heaters. So we're going to go in, we're going to see how they're made, how they're put together. We're going to have a look at the inspection that has to happen. So once it's put together, we want to know, has it been made in the right way? So we have an inspector in today as well. And we're also going to have a look at what the finished product looks like. So this part here is part of the base of the burner. So the company that assembles it, they also manufacture some of the parts. Not all the parts, but some of the parts. So this starts off as this shape here. It then goes into this machine, and that pushes down and that shapes into this here. So we're going to see that happen now. They would then take the edges off with the machine that's over here. So once they've taken this off and you end up with a nice round edge here, that would then go to a separate location where it would get galvanized and they would put a zinc coating on it. And then after that, it would come back and then go through the rest of the process. So once it gets back from galvanization and it has the zinc coating on it, this part, it then comes back and it's like this. Has no holes in the top. So that then gets put in this machine here. And then it goes from this part here round to the next machine, where we get these little parts to the back. So there's a separate machine just to poke those holes in. Here. So this guy's job is to take the rivets, put it into the rivet gun, then attach one little part of metal to this edge tube, and then this edge tube goes onto the parts over here, and that's where it screws in. So these are the edges to the base frame. Okay, and now they're going to let me have a go. Okay, and then the thing which I dropped. Okay, and I'm going to do one more. So we're going to put you in there. Okay, that. Okay, brilliant. And then I lost it again. Easy peasy. So now that's riveting there, and these parts. Put this cover back on. Oh, I made a little bit of a hole. Mine's not that great. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I'd be very good at this. And then that goes on the pile. Okay. Ready? So here with Mr. Jiang. So Mr. Jiang's job is to put together the burner. And then once that's assembled, he needs to take it over to this part over here. And then test slide it. So this part, the burner and the test sliding, they do that with every single unit, because if something's going to go wrong with a part of it, you know, it's the smaller mechanical parts like this. So, you know, they're just making sure that this works, so every single unit works.
assemble these.
Every single unit that comes through gets checked. So first thing they're going to check is that it actually lights, but also the safety feature on it is the thing gets knocked over, pushed over, it turns off. So they're going to check each one, make sure that when it gets tipped over, that it actually does turn off. Parts that go into the burner, they come from a different factory, like lots of the stuff here. This is actually part of the same company, the factory that these come from. Then they go from here. These two girls, we've been here for a few hours and they've been doing this the whole time. Their job is just to screw these onto that part there like that. Now that these are done, one of these, they would then come over onto this part and then lift it down. Yeah. So now he's going to screw all of those parts in. And that goes into this part. Very nice. Can I get that? So now we have a fully assembled part. So we know, we've already seen this tested, so we know it will light and we know the safety features are when it tilts to turn off. We know that that's an effective burner and it's a safe burner as well. So once all the products are finished and they're all put together, they're stored in the warehouse. So you can see, so this is for a company called Drink Stuff in the UK. So we have there the patio heater, which is like your umbrella style. And then we have two types of pyramid heaters. So the three products that are being inspected today are these three. So we have two pyramid heaters. They're the same in terms of capacity and function. This particular one has a powder coated finish on the sideboards, whereas this one it's just a stainless steel or aluminium. Okay. This one, your umbrella heater. This is quite mobile, so at the back it has wheels, so you're able to quite easily move that one around. When it has no heater in it, they're not particularly heavy, so you can lift, and one person could move them. But if you're to move it safely, two people can lift it and move it quite comfortably. Now, it opens up at the front. You know, it has instructions at the top how to turn it on. So this has a 5 kilo tank in it, whereas it will take up to 15 kilos. And that will run one of these at full heat for 20 hours. So let's turn it on. See if I can remember how to do it. Very nice. So we mentioned before that it has a safety feature, so if it gets knocked over, you don't want it setting everything on fire. So if they tilt past a certain angle, it turns off. So we're going to test that now and have a look. Okay, so if that was knocked over, that falls over, it turns off. Okay, got to mention that it's just turned on as well, so it's not hot. This particular order, it's a 40-foot HQ container. There's a fair amount of money involved, so what you don't want is you don't want your products turning up in the UK, Australia, Canada, wherever they're going. You don't want them turning up, getting to your warehouse, and then going out to the customer, and the customer's like, well, hang on a minute, this is dented, or this is scratched, or there's something missing. You know, it's not good for the business. You know, you're getting your one-star reviews, the customer's unhappy. It's costing you money, it's a headache. So first off, you definitely have a manufacturing agreement involved, because you want to state that this is the quality that the product should be. If we get a product and it arrives to us and arrives to the customer and it's not how you said it was going to be, you know, we shouldn't have to pay. So, you know, the factory would have to cover the cost of obviously replacing it, and then they'd have to cover the costs of the transport from here to wherever the destination and then the customer. However, you're definitely going to want an inspection on your larger orders. So this guy is from a company called HQTS Inspectors. So what he's going to do is he's going to spend all day unboxing products very carefully so he doesn't touch them, checking them over, making sure that there are no scratches, no dents, make sure all the parts are there, making sure the buckle is there, all the tools are there. So you just want to make sure that the quality at the factory, when it gets boxed up, is the same, that is the standard that you set in your manufacturing agreements and your AQL and your quality standards. Something to mention, that the company HQTS, they're independent from the factory. So if they say that there's an issue with the product, well, ideally they say there's no issue with the product. You can take it there is an issue with the product, because that's their non-biased opinion. You know, you pay them to give you the information that you want, so it's not a factory's internal. Now, most factories are on the level and above board, and they don't want to send crap, but not all are like that. So it's good just to have an independent inspector come in, and so you can rest assured that it is how it's supposed to be. Okay, so today he's going to go through about 50 of these, checking them. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take a look at the protective packaging side of things, because if you're a retailer, you know, you have experience with your delivery people. They just, you know, they're accidentally dropping things. They sometimes they don't care. You know, things are getting trodden on. Things are having things dropped on them. So it's important to make sure that the protective packaging does what it says, what it's supposed to do, and protect the products. You have a piece of 5-ply card, and that's separating out the 4 sides of the heater. So if we look at the black parts here, so they come inside of that, inside of some plastic packaging, so that protects them from rubbing against each other, and then they separate 2 by 2 with inside the box. Again, and as you can see, you know, vibration from transport, having them picked up, any movement of parts against each other, it's going to cause little marks. It wouldn't cause functionality problems. It's just when you get a new product, you don't want little marks, little chips on it. This part here, this is the glass tube. So you'll be able to see when they open this that this is probably the most, well, it's the most delicate part. So what we got is we got high density polystyrene. So you have 2 end pieces at each end, and the middle piece as well. So of course that goes around, so it's nice and securely protected. So that is inside of its own box, which then goes into another box. So even if this is dropped from, say, 90 centimeters, which is quite high for a product like this, it'd probably be drop tested to 60 centimeters, which is about hip height. On the corners, on the edges, on the face, this packaging is designed so this thing does not end up broken during transport.